Hello everyone, Happy New Year! My name is Ellie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you with a video I am so excited about. The sun has set, so I hope the lighting is okay, but I was way too excited to wait until tomorrow. I am bringing to you my 10 resolutions for 2020 that have to do with emotional well-being and mental health. Alright, let's get started. My first resolution is one that is probably on a lot of people's lists. It's been on my list for several years now, but I'm, actively working on it. It is to stress less. I want to work on specifically staying grounded and learning that the feeling of being stressed doesn't change the outcome of the situation or the facts of a situation. I need to learn to let things go with the flow, not sweat the small stuff, that kind of thing. My second resolution is to be more brave and less fearful. Now, in general, I do consider myself to be a pretty brave person. I put myself out there with people, with new situations, that kind of thing. But what I'm talking about in this is more like irrational fears. It's like, it's a very scary world out there. I struggle to find the line between cautious, where I'm not putting myself in dangerous situations, and a little bit over paranoid. Like, for example, I get really nervous when I'm driving, or I get really nervous when I'm walking alone at night, even if I'm in a really safe area, that kind of thing. And something that goes along with that is I really want to learn self-defense. I think it'll help me be less afraid. I think that being, like a pretty small woman is kind of a scary person to be in this world, so I think that would be a way to help me achieve this goal of being more brave and less fearful. My third goal is something incredibly difficult for me. It is very much related to YouTube as well. It is working on letting go of my emotional attachment to stuff, physical things. Somehow in my head, I have equated physical items that I have, my belongings, to security and safety. They're my comfort, and that definitely is not healthy and not helpful to me in any way. I want to work on basically taking things for what they are. They're functional objects in my life. They're not giving me any sort of emotional value other than, oh, I really like this shirt, it's really cute, it makes me feel good and confident. Like, I take things a little too extreme. Like, if you see my room, it's full of just stuff, clutter. And that's what I want to get rid of. I want to kind of just, basically what I'm trying to say is that owning too much stuff and being too attached to my stuff is holding me back in life. For example, when I try to pack to go on a trip, I am definitely an overpacker because I'm very nervous about being underprepared, even if it's like a very simple thing, like I don't have the right shade of red lipstick, like things that aren't a big deal that I stress about, which is just not healthy. And so packing and things like that and moving in and out of college is very difficult for me with all the stuff that I have, and I can't let go of any of it, even when I don't need it. So that's something I want to work on. I think the consumerist culture that I live in, and especially the media that I consume, watching a lot of YouTube, where everybody has to have the whole collection of makeup, a bunch of clothes, a big house, like all these materialistic things that YouTube kind of puts in my head thinking that I need when I really don't, is part of the reason that this has manifested into such a big issue for me. So one of the things that I'm doing to combat that is watching a lot more videos on like minimalism and decluttering. I don't think I will ever be a minimalist, but it's good to try to learn habits so that I create not only less waste, but that I have less clutter and I need less in my life, because really I have way too much stuff, way more than any one person could ever need. So yeah, that's my third resolution. My fourth resolution is becoming more independent. Accomplishing something feels really good. Everybody knows that feeling of like, even when we're really little, like walking by ourselves or like opening a jar by ourselves when we're little, like something like that is just a really good feeling. But I specifically mean like learning to adult almost. I'm 19, so I'm not quite like a full-blown adult yet. I'm not financially independent. I'm a student in school, so that's my main job really. I do rely on my parents for a lot of things like cell phone bills, and they're the home that I come home to on breaks. So I want to work on taking little steps in 2020, oh my god, not 2019, and taking little steps in 2020 to becoming more independent so that it's not this big, oh my god, I've just graduated college and I don't know how to do anything on my own. So I want to work on, in 2020, learning how to adult and be more independent. My fifth goal is one that's also a little deeper, kind of like number 3. It is to become okay with being alone. This is something I really worked on in 2019 because I am somebody that really takes comfort from other people. I really like hugs, and I really like, affirmation from other people, that kind of thing, which is not a problem in general, but I think that if people can learn, especially me, if people can learn to self-soothe, that's a coping skill that I've learned, and also to just basically be your own best friend and rely on yourself. Like, if I'm ever in a distressing situation, I should be able to comfort myself and work myself through that problem rather than relying on a friend or a family member to help me work through the problem. I feel like there's definitely a balance you could strike, but I want to work on being able to be strong in myself. Number 6 is something that my dad actually suggested, which I think is really great because, the people closest to you know you best. This is stop letting one person or one thing dictate my emotions and how my whole day goes. I definitely in 2019 struggled with this. It was the kind of thing where if I woke up and someone sent me a good morning text, it would make my whole day. Or if I woke up and something just didn't go right, then my whole day would be bad. And there's a million little things that happen every single day. So really I should work on being just more balanced with my emotions and with my interactions with people. I should be the one that decides how my day goes. It should never be somebody else affecting me to that point where I have a good day or a bad day just because of another person or something else happening. My 7th resolution is to focus on relationships. That is a resolution I had in 2019 as well, but it's one I want to continue working on. I think that your support system, having a strong support system, is basically half the battle to having a really good life. Half of it is being strong in yourself, but half of it is the support system you build. And I'm fortunate to have really, really great people in my life that I love so much, but I also really value those relationships in terms of letting those people know how much I care about them. And I tend to have a habit of isolating myself when I get too stressed out or frustrated, and I want to work on maintaining those relationships so that they're not only there for me, but I'm there for them as well. My 8th resolution is spending more time on myself. And this is definitely a self-care resolution. I really would like to learn how to relax. Usually I am a very productive person. I don't watch Netflix. I watch a couple YouTube videos a day probably when I'm brushing my teeth or whatever. But in general, I'm very productive with my time, and I think I need to learn that I just need to enjoy my day sometimes, and I need to spend more time on self-care because, you only have one body, you only have one life, and you should take care of it. My 9th resolution is, again, one that I think YouTube has has contributed to the problem that I'm having. I use shopping as a coping mechanism for stress, for when things aren't really going my way in life. I use shopping to kind of cope with things and generate a source of happiness. Again, like I said before on my 3rd resolution, materialistic things really should not be a big source of happiness for me, and that's not what I want in my life. That's not the person I want to be. I am a huge shopper. I love it. I have been very actively working on being a more sustainable and eco-conscious and ethically conscious shopper. I do a lot of thrifting and a lot of secondhand purchasing, which is great, but at the same time, I don't need so much. I have everything I need, basically. So I really need to work on just appreciating the things that I have and not using shopping as a way to basically pass time or make myself happy or that kind of thing. I need to find a balance where it's a good social activity, it's a good way to relieve some stress, but not all the time. My last resolution is one that I also think is like number one that a lot of people have on their list. It is to spend more time in nature, but also just in general spend more time exploring. In 2019, I found myself kind of in a rut where I was going to the same places with the same people, the same experiences, and in 2020, I really want to branch out and explore and meet new people and have experiences that you could never replicate, and I think that's really special. I am starting that right away by going into New York City in a couple weeks with one of my best friends, and I hope that I'm able to continue that throughout 2020. Thank you so much for listening to me talk for however long this has been. I really hope that this is helpful to you, that this inspires you, and also this is just a way for me to keep myself accountable. I think it's really cool that once 2020 is over, I can look back at this video and reflect and see, okay, how did I do on those resolutions? Did I keep up with them? So I hope that you stick to your resolutions. I hope that 2020 brings you all the happiness and joy that you could ever imagine. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Oops, sorry if you hear my dog bark. She's kind of loud, but adorable. Anyway, leave me a like if you like this video, subscribe down below, and maybe comment one of your resolutions. I'd love to hear from you guys. Bye.